Across the vast African savanna, every breath and every step can tip the balance between life and death. This is a land where survival is earned through constant exposure to danger, where threats remain close even during moments that seem peaceful. Here, strength is not defined by appearance or raw aggression, but by the ability to endure when all forces push toward collapse. Within this unforgiving landscape, few presences command as much respect as the alliance of the Cape buffalo. Their power does not lie in speed or individual cunning, but in unity, resilience, and unwavering resolve. Together they form one of the most formidable forces on the African plains, a living barrier standing against hunger predators and the relentless passage of time. Every movement of the herd is a statement of survival, a collective answer to a world that offers no second chances. In this way, the savanna becomes an endless arena of struggle where life continues through endurance, cooperation, and the refusal to yield. In Africa, survival belongs to those who can stand firm. The soft light of dawn slowly spreads across the open plains, awakening a landscape that has followed the same rhythm for countless generations. Nothing unfolds in haste or chaos, only the whisper of wind through dry grasses and the steady breathing of animals preparing to face another day. In this land, true power is not found in appearance, but in endurance. In the distance, massive shapes begin to move across the horizon. These are Cape buffalo, formidable animals known for their unpredictable temperament and unbreakable social bonds. At the front walks a fully grown bull. His broad curved horns merge at the forehead, forming a natural shield that few predators could ever breach. He leads what is often called a strong alliance, a coalition of the most powerful males bound together by a single purpose: survival. African buffalo are far from easy targets. Many weigh over 700 kilograms, and their thick hides and dense muscle allow them to withstand attacks from even the most feared hunters of the savanna. Yet their greatest defense is not individual strength, but the unity of the herd. They move as one, tightly grouped and constantly alert. Ears flick in every direction, eyes scan the tall grass without pause. If one slows, the others adjust. When danger appears, they do not flee, they regroup, stand firm, and confront the threat together. As the sun climbs higher and heat begins to blanket the savannah, a quiet danger takes shape. Within the golden tones of the grass, subtle movements glide almost unseen. A group of lionesses fans out, approaching from multiple angles. They are strategic, patient, and fully aware of the risk ahead. Buffalo are not ideal prey, they are dangerous opponents. But when hunger grows strong, every choice carries its own peril. The strong alliance presses forward, their heavy hooves striking the cracked earth in a steady rhythm. Unaware to them, only meters away, several amber eyes track every movement with unwavering focus. One buffalo on the outer edge of the group begins to lag behind. He is not injured, but his breathing grows labored. That alone is enough. The attack never fully unfolds. The buffalo collapses from exhaustion, and the lionesses halt, stepping back with measured caution. They have achieved their goal. The confrontation is over. On the African savannah, there are no permanent victors, only animals that manage to endure one more day. Today, the strong alliance pays a price, losing one of its own. It is the unavoidable cost of the endless struggle between predators and the power of unity. The wind rises dry and relentless, sweeping fine dust across the fractured ground. The grass lies short and brittle as the dry season refuses to loosen its grip. Within the strong alliance, tension thickens. The bulls begin to study one another, standing still, locked in Gingland evaluation. The air fills with the sharp scent of hormones, an unmistakable signal that a clash is imminent. Two of the largest buffalo step forward until they stand face to face. There are no warning calls, no dramatic displays. Cape buffalo do not waste energy on empty threats. When conflict comes, it is direct, deliberate, and decisive. In a sudden flash, everything unfolds at once. Two bodies weighing hundreds of kilograms crash together with explosive force. The collision sends a tremor through the ground. One of them falters for a split second, just long enough. That brief loss of balance is all it takes for fate to be decided. The victor remains standing, breathing hard, head held high, eyes steady and unyielding. This victory goes far beyond the clash itself. It grants the right to breed, to pass strength and resilience on to the next generation. There is no celebration, no outward display of dominance. Only the quiet enforcement of nature's oldest rules, where life moves forward through those able to endure, prevail, and protect what follows them. Before the dust stirred up in lion territory has time to fully settle, the savanna slips back into its steady, timeless rhythm. In the distance, massive shapes emerge, moving with the calm certainty of drifting hills. These are African elephants. These gentle giants dominate the African landscape. The African elephant, Loxodonta africana, is the largest land animal alive today. Fully grown adults can weigh more than 6 tons, and their enormous ears, spread wide like sails, help release excess heat under the relentless sun. Their trunk, long and remarkably dexterous, is an indispensable tool. It allows them to breathe, drink, gather food, communicate, and even express emotion. Unlike buffalo or big cats, elephant society is guided by experience rather than strength. At the heart of each herd stands the matriarch, the oldest and most knowledgeable female. Within her memory lies a living archive of the savanna, an unseen map that reveals where water can be found during drought, which grounds are safest for giving birth, and which areas must be avoided due to dangers rooted in the past. The herd moves forward at an unhurried pace, yet with absolute purpose. The calves remain at the center at all times, encircled by adults who guard them without pause. At the slightest hint of danger, the group closes ranks, instantly forming a living barrier, silent, solid, and formidable. Elephants rarely seek confrontation, but when they are cornered, especially if their young are threatened, their response can be overwhelming. Even lions understand that a united elephant herd is not an opponent worth challenging. Beyond their immense size, these animals play a vital role in shaping the ecosystem. By pushing over shrubs and trees, they open the landscape, allowing grasses to flourish. When they dig for water, they unknowingly create lifelines that sustain countless other species during the dry season. Seeds travel with them across the savanna, scattered with every step they take. Wherever elephants roam, the land is changed not suddenly or violently, but gradually, deeply, and forever. In a world defined by constant competition, African elephants remind us that true strength lies not only in the ability to defend oneself, but in the power to support, reshape, and sustain life itself. As those peaceful giants disappear beyond the horizon, the savanna carries on with its timeless rhythm. This is a land where every species, whether predator or grazer, plays a crucial role in keeping nature's machinery alive. Suddenly, the ground begins to shudder. At first, it is a faint vibration, barely noticeable. Within seconds, it builds into a deep, thunderous pulse that spreads across the plains. Far away, faint shapes take form. Then come hundreds, soon thousands of animals moving as one, flowing across the open land like an endless tide. They are wildebeest, heavy-bodied, broad-headed antelopes with curved horns sweeping outward. The blue wildebeest Cheetahs taurinus may look clumsy at first glance, but appearances are deceiving. It is one of the toughest and most enduring species in Africa. Wildebeest live and travel in vast herds driven by instinct alone. An ancient urge compels them forward without rest, always searching for fresh grazing grounds and dependable water. Their great annual migration, repeated year after year across generations, remains one of the most extraordinary wildlife events on the planet. Within the herd, safety is never guaranteed. Newborn calves must stand and run within minutes of entering the world. The weakest individuals are especially vulnerable, often falling victim to lions, hyenas, or crocodiles during dangerous river crossings. Yet it is this very abundance, the sheer size of the herd, that ensures the species endures. While predators focus their attention on a single target, countless others continue moving forward without pause. Wildebeest are more than prey. They are a driving force of the ecosystem itself. By grazing relentlessly, they prevent grasses from growing old and dry, encouraging fresh shoots to emerge. Their droppings return vital nutrients to the soil, sustaining insects, birds, and countless smaller organisms. As the herd advances, it shapes the path for life around it. Zebras trail behind. Lions follow in silence, and scavengers wait patiently for opportunity. Every step taken by this living river strengthens the intricate web of African life. Without wildebeest, the savannah would lose its rhythm. Without migration, the renewal of the grasslands would falter. And when the herd finally fades into the distance, wrapped in a rising cloud of dust, the land falls quiet, waiting for the next great heartbeat. Then the first heavy rain arrives, sudden, powerful, and full of promise. This is the moment Cape buffalo have been waiting for. Within the herd, the change is unmistakable. The females' bodies signal renewal, and the land itself, now green and revived, announces the beginning of the breeding season. Expectant mothers move toward open level ground where long sight lines reduce the risk of surprise attacks. In these exposed spaces, predators have fewer places to hide, and vigilance becomes the herd's greatest ally. With the return of water and fresh grass, a new cycle of life begins, timed precisely to the rhythms of the savannah. There is no chaos, no confusion. The birth unfolds quietly in rhythm with the ancient heartbeat of the savannah. A buffalo calf enters the world. Its legs tremble, its dark coat glistens beneath the light rain. Within minutes, it must struggle to its feet. Here there is no space for weakness. The mother stays close, her massive body forming a living shield. Around her, other females gather instinctively, creating a protective wall of muscle and horns. Every stare is alert, every movement deliberate. Lions, hyenas, and leopards understand that approaching a buffalo herd at this moment carries serious risk. Still, danger is never fully absent. The rains bring abundance, but they also draw predators. Calves must learn quickly to keep pace with the herd, to recognize unfamiliar sounds, to adapt from their first days to a life shaped by constant vigilance. Beneath the gray skies of the wet season, the Cape buffalo herd presses on. New lives merge into the endless flow of the Savannah. The tracks left in the soft mud are soon washed away by the rain. Yet the mark of the calving season remains. In the African savanna, every rainfall does more than restore green to the land. It opens the door to a new generation. For the Cape buffalo, it is a promise of continuity, shared strength, unity, and resilience in a land that never stops testing them. Do you think the alliance of Cape buffalo is strong enough to deter every predator? Share your thoughts in the comments. Gambia stretches like a narrow, vibrant ribbon through the heart of West Africa, where the river sets the rhythm of life and nature follows its own rules. Here, water, forest, and sky are bound together in a constant struggle to endure. The murky riverbanks hold untold stories of resilience, while dense mangroves and sun-scorched savannas conceal silent threats. Every corner carries danger. Every pause can be fatal. In Gambia, all living beings exist within a fragile balance between survival and disappearance. With each sunrise, a new trial begins. Before the heat takes control of the day, hunger awakens the oldest instincts. This is Gambia, small in size, yet vast in the power of its untamed spirit. Deep within the riverine forests, a presence moves with flawless stealth. It is the leopard Panthera pardus, a master of silence, embodying both elegance and deadly precision. Its golden coat, patterned with dark rosettes, blends seamlessly with shifting light and shadow. From high in the trees, it watches with unwavering focus, studying every movement, weighing every possibility. In this land, the leopard is both feared and admired. It embodies raw strength and the art of survival. Its amber eyes mirror the sunlit savannas by day and the moon-washed forests by night. Within the fragile balance of nature, it rules without ceremony, quiet, methodical, and undeniably dominant. The first light of dawn slips gently through the dense green canopy. The air remains cool, heavy with the scent of damp soil and newly awakened plants. Near the water's edge, concealed beneath thick brush, the leopard opens its eyes. The hollow ache in its stomach is a clear signal the day demands another hunt. Rising with smooth, controlled movements, it glides across grass still wet with dew. Suddenly, a faint trace of warm skin drifts through the air. In a nearby clearing, a bushbuck antelope rests calmly bathed in the morning sun, unaware that danger is already closing in. Step by step, the predator closes in without a sound. Its body lowers to the ground, muscles coiled tight like a spring ready to release. The gap narrows. The leopard's heartbeat falls into rhythm with the stillness around it. Then in a split second, everything changes. It surges forward. A flash of gold cuts through the grass. Almost immediately, calm returns, broken only by the heavy breathing of the hunter standing over its captured prey. A warm breeze moves through the leaves, carrying away the last traces of the sudden struggle. The leopard tightens its grip as the motion beneath it fades. The decisive bite is swift and exact, a reminder of the price paid for survival. In this world, life continues through patience, precision, and the courage to strike at precisely the right moment. The forest remains alert as it always does, poised for the next chase, the next heartbeat, the next story to be written without a sound. Dawn spreads its golden light across the dense canopy of Gambia's forests, setting the leaves aglow as if brushed by a gentle flame. Nearby, leopard cubs with bright eyes and softly spotted coats tumble and play, nipping at one another's tails in harmless games. Without drawing attention, their mother slips into the deeper shadows, beginning her daily hunt. She moves low and silent ears, tuned to every signal, each step measured on soil still cool from the night. Then behind her the calm shatters without warning. Harsh, chaotic cries erupt from within the jungle. A troop of baboons surges forward like a living storm. They are not natural predators of the leopard, but their strength in numbers and collective aggression can be deadly. Without hesitation, one of the cubs bolts for the nearest tree claws, digging into the bark as it scrambles upward in panic. The baboons react instantly, climbing just as fast, their bodies perfectly adapted for pursuit among the branches. In moments, the cub is cornered on the highest, most fragile limb it can reach. Its cries are sharp and fearful, cutting through the morning chorus of the forest like an alarm. Far away, the mother had already begun her hunt, yet something deep within her stirs. A sudden, unsettling sense of danger takes hold. Maternal instinct ignites without warning. The hunt no longer matters. She races back through the trees at full speed, weaving past trunks and roots, closing the distance with every powerful stride. When she arrives, the sight stops her cold for an instant. The baboons have surrounded her cub high in the tree. The cub freezes in place, its fur standing on end, eyes scanning desperately for an escape that does not exist. Below, the mother remains concealed within nearby bushes, tracking every movement of her adversaries. A direct attack would be fatal against so many strong, aggressive rivals. One baboon edges closer, fangs bared and voice raised in a furious display, but stops short of striking. The message is unmistakable, a warning, a claim of dominance over this space. Slowly, the troop becomes aware of the silent presence watching from below. two golden eyes burn from the shadows. One by one, the baboons retreat from the tree and melt back into the dense green vegetation. The clamor fades until only the familiar rhythm of the forest remains. In an instant, the mother springs toward the trunk, climbing with practiced precision, her claws locking into old grooves in the bark. The cub sees her and begins its careful descent. Step by step, it climbs down to where she waits. Reassured by her presence, the mother leans in, presses her head gently against the cub's, and licks its fur, calming the fear and restoring a fragile sense of safety. The cub presses itself against her chest, drawing comfort from the warmth of her body. The moment ends without further conflict. No blood is spilled. Yet deep within the leopard's mind, the memory is etched clearly, and it will not fade easily. Morning light now spreads gently across the open plain, washing the forest's edge in soft shades of gold, and signaling the rise of the day's heat. In scattered groups, the baboons move through the grass, foraging calmly, plucking wild fruits with nimble, well-practiced fingers. Their calls echo across the open land, playful in tone, yet still carrying the confidence born from yesterday's encounter. Driving the leopard family away has become an unspoken badge of triumph, strengthening their sense of security. But from within the shadows, a pair of golden eyes watches with unwavering focus. The leopard mother has only one thought: today the balance will be answered. Her body is held in controlled tension like a living spring, prepared to unleash immense power without hesitation. Every muscle works in complete silence. She moves forward with precise steps, her belly skimming the ground as she melts into the shifting shadows shaped by the sun. The baboons, unaware of any danger, remain absorbed in their search for food. No heads turn. No sentry stands watch. They sense nothing. The predator is already within striking distance. The leopard lowers her profile even further as she closes in. She glides ahead with almost imperceptible grace. Still, the baboons fail to notice the threat drawing nearer. Her entire body tightens, perfectly poised, conserving energy as she waits for the exact moment to act. Then, in the blink of an eye, stealth gives way to explosive speed. A streak of gold surges across the clearing, powered by muscle instinct and a mother's fierce resolve. Order collapses instantly. Sharp alarm calls pierce the air as the group scatters in every direction. But for one, the escape comes too late. Its cry is cut short as the leopard's strike finds its mark, swift and decisive, ending the chase in a single precise motion. Swift and efficient, the leopard brings the confrontation to an end. The rest of the troop retreats toward the trees, yesterday's confidence collapsing into pure panic. With effortless strength, she lifts the lifeless weight and moves away, her gaze steady, her presence unquestionable. No sound is needed. The message is clear. She has returned and the balance has been answered. She crosses the open grassland without slowing, leaving behind the silent trace of her success. At the edge of her territory, two small shapes emerge from the cover of vegetation. Her cubs approach carefully, noses lifted, testing the air. The familiar scent triggers an instant recognition. They understand at once this is the threat that filled them with fear only a day before. For the mother, this was never just a hunt. It was a reckoning written in instinct and resolve. She knows other trials will come, but for now, order has been restored. As stillness settles once more over the plain, one truth remains unspoken yet unmistakable. The leopard's family is not to be challenged. She closes her eyes, not in weakness, but in the quiet certainty of a predator that has fulfilled its role. Dawn washes the wet land in soft shades of pale gold. A thin veil of mist rises from the still water, drifting upward like a quiet, held breath. The baboons stir early, alert and watchful. From the shelter of the forest, they emerge in loose clusters and move with purpose toward the shoreline. This morning, their focus is on tender shoots and fresh leaves growing among the aquatic plants at the water's edge. The troop spreads out along the muddy banks. Some wade into the shallow water, skillfully plucking green leaves with practiced hands. Others settle on dry patches of ground, chewing eagerly, their lips stained with fresh vegetation. The scene is calm, shaped by the soft sounds of feeding, gentle splashes, and the muted calls of the young. Then, without warning, a deep growl cuts through the stillness like a sudden clap of thunder. Two dominant males square off, their bodies stiffen for bristling as ancient instincts take over. They charge at one another with explosive force, colliding in a clash of muscle and will. Teeth flash, limbs strike, and harsh cries fill the marsh, echoing through the distant trees like the sounds of battle. The group freezes. Some voices rise, urging the fight on, while others pull back to avoid stray blows. Each collision lands with raw force, water splashing beneath tangled limbs. Growls blend with the sound of churning mud, forming a chaotic, relentless rhythm. Neither contender yields. Both believe that backing down would cost more than any wound. Then, without warning, the water behind them shifts and swells into a dark, rising shape. A Nile crocodile, massive and ancient, bursts from the surface, its yellow eyes catching the first light of dawn. The predator needs no invitation. Its presence alone commands instant fear. In a heartbeat, the rivals break apart, pride abandoned in favor of survival. The confrontation ends without a victor, not through defeat, but through understanding. In this world, survival is not decided by strength alone, but by knowing precisely when to retreat. On the African savannah, every confrontation eventually ends, yet the struggle to exist never truly does. Here, each breath and every step marks the fragile line between survival and vanishing forever. Real strength is not always revealed through fangs or speed, but through endurance, the ability to stand firm and withstand the relentless pressure of the wild. Among the many players on this untamed stage, the Cape buffalo stands as a symbol of unity. It is more than an individual body. It is a shared will. When facing the savanna's most feared predators, their solidarity and resilience transform them into one of the land's most formidable coalitions. A living wall proving that survival is not always about striking first, but about standing together. And so each day in Africa draws to a close without absolute victors, only survivors. The savannah repeats its oldest lesson in a world where anything can fail. True strength lies in remaining on your feet for one moment longer. Across the vast, unforgiving savannas of Ethiopia, survival is not shaped by peace, but by constant struggle. This is a land where every sunrise brings a new battle, and where even the most unlikely encounters can become legend. Among them is one of the most astonishing conflicts ever observed: a quiet, relentless clash between baboons and lions. Here, baboons are far from helpless prey. Organized, alert, and fiercely bold, they stand their ground against the very predators that rule these plains. And lions, the undisputed monarchs of the savannah, do not easily forget. What begins as a failed hunt can ignite into something far more dangerous, a calculated act of retaliation that defies the expected balance of the wild. In Ethiopia's wilderness, collective intelligence can strike as powerfully as teeth and claws, and courage can rival sheer physical strength. Every stare carries a warning. Every movement sparks tension. There is no sanctuary for weakness and no room for hesitation, because even a single moment of doubt can decide life or death. On the scorched cliffs of the Ethiopian plateau, dry winds weave through jagged rocks, carrying the harsh scent of parched earth and the faint murmur of a land on the edge of collapse. Within a restless troop of baboons, a young infant witnessed something no juvenile should ever see. The fall of its mother, taken not by its own kind, but by the silent grip of a leopard, the shadowy hunter of the thickets. From that moment on, a quiet sense of retribution began to stir within the clan. Dawn broke over the highlands beneath a veil of pale mist. The wind swept through low shrubs, lifting dust and scattering the distant echoes of morning. A group of francolins scratched through the leaf litter in search of insects, only to be startled into flight by the deep, resonant calls of baboons echoing against the rocky slopes. Timu, still only months old, was beginning to explore the basics of survival, searching for food and learning to kin. Yet he was soon cast aside by his own troop. His mother had been lost to a predator, and he was left to wander alone among stones and thorny brush. In time, he crossed paths with other outcast males. At first, suspicion defined their encounters, but the chill of night and the ache of hunger pushed them toward cooperation. They began to share what little they found: fruit, shelter, warmth. In the open wilderness, a fragile alliance took shape, bound not by kinship, but by the simple need to endure. As the years passed, no elder guided Timu's path, and it was this absence that shaped him. Once a vulnerable and abandoned infant, he hardened into something far more resilient. His body grew stronger, his features sharpened, and his fear transformed into awareness. It no longer held him back, it drove him to observe, to remember, and to anticipate. Many would have expected him to perish, yet among thorns and constant danger he endured. He learned to locate food, to evade hostile claws, and to choose safe places to rest. At one point, a lioness shadowed his group for days. Her amber gaze followed them from a distance, appearing at dusk and forcing them to alter their movements. Unknowingly, her presence refined their instincts, silent coordination, meaningful glances, and an ever-present readiness for conflict. The loss of his mother never faded from Timu's mind. It became more than memory. It was a quiet force driving him forward. He understood that survival alone was not enough. He had to grow stronger. Each scar, each sleepless night in the cold, each brush with death shaped him into something new, resilient, cunning, and formidable. While Timu was being forged into a survivor among rock and thorn elsewhere, another creature was thriving through a different kind of intelligence, the ability to wait, adapt, and endure. Not far from the baboon's range, in a shadowed valley wrapped in darkness, a low, sharp laugh broke the silence. Not of joy, but of intent. It was the unmistakable call of a brown hyena, a creature often overlooked beside more iconic predators. Among them was Narka, a seasoned female who had lived long enough to witness the rise and fall of 2 generations of baboon leaders. Narka lacked the size and grandeur of a lion, but she possessed something equally powerful: patience. She was more than a fleeting figure among the rocks. She had become a bold explorer of territories few dared to enter, including the windswept, salt-laced coastline of Ethiopia. By midday, the sun ruled the sky. The sea cast blinding reflections against the cliffs, shimmering like scattered sparks. Along the rocks, large male sea lions lounged lazily, growling and shifting as they competed for the best sunlit positions. Closer to the shoreline, young pups still marked with faint patterns slept in clusters, unaware of any danger, lulled by the rhythm of waves and the salty air. This was the moment Narka had been waiting for. She moved across soft dunes, slipping between coastal shrubs before suddenly freezing. The fur along her neck bristled. The wind had shifted, carrying an unwelcome scent. A black-backed jackal was nearby. There were no drawn-out chases, no chaos, only a swift, precise action that secured enough food for her cubs on a cold afternoon. From a distant ridge, Narka watched the shoreline in silence. The ocean continued to shimmer as if untouched by what had just occurred. For her, this stretch of coast had become part of her domain, not claimed by brute strength, but by patience and stealth. As twilight shadows stretched across the shore, Narka returned to her rocky den where small, gleaming eyes awaited her. The jackals had retreated and she came back with provisions for her young. A quiet victory, subtle yet decisive. While Narka's cubs rested safely among cold stones, warmed by the presence of their group far inland on the dry plateau, another community was beginning to fracture. The baboon troop led by Raka continued its routine as though nothing had changed, but the atmosphere had shifted. No one spoke of it yet, all could feel it. The scent of scorched grass lingered in the air. Leaves rustled uneasily, and the prolonged silence of the females hinted at rising tension. Raka, despite his age, remained a feared leader, seated upon the great rock that had long served as his symbolic throne. His thick, dark mane was now streaked with gray, yet his gaze still held authority. He snarled when younger males came too close to the females, baring his teeth in warning. Though his strength had begun to fade, his power endured not in his present force, but in the memory of violence that still lived within the troop. One morning, a distant sound at the edge of the territory caused several males to lift their heads in unison. On the horizon, a figure appeared strangely familiar, yet undeniably changed. It was Timu. Gone was the fragile infant once cast out. In his place stood a hardened adult, his body powerful, his expression sharp as fractured stone. And he did not return alone. Behind him followed other males equally shaped by the Keithan life beyond the troop. A heavy silence spread across the land. From his barzer perch, Raka watched closely. For the first time in many seasons, his eyes revealed not anger, but caution and calculation. The clash that followed was unavoidable. When it ended and Raka fell, Timu did not claim leadership through fear. Instead, he chose to share authority with his allies, allowed the females freedom of choice, and led with strength rather than cruelty. Under his rule, the troop entered an unusual period of balance, one where cooperation replaced intimidation. Was this the closest they had ever come to peace, perhaps? But in the wild, calm is rarely permanent. It is often just a thin surface concealing dangers waiting to rise. At the forest's edge, where dense growth at the openness of the plateau, a pair of golden eyes flickered in the shadows. There were no snapping branches, no warning, no echo of footsteps. It was neither hyena nor jackal. It was a leopard, the very one that had once taken Timu's mother, and now it waited. Moru moved like a whisper through the canopy. She was a female, smaller than the males, yet far more agile, silent, and deadly than most predators in this land. She did not hunt for survival alone, she hunted because she was a mother. 3 weeks earlier, she had given birth within a sheltered crevice hidden from the wind. Her cubs were too young to follow. Their eyes had only just begun to open, their fragile bodies demanding nourishment. Every faint cry from the den was a relentless reminder Moru could not fail. She could not return empty-handed, nor allow her scent to betray their hiding place. Above, the dry forest stirred with the morning breeze. Leaves crackled under the careful steps of a group of antelope moving toward a nearly dry streambed, searching for minerals in the salty soil. Closer to the ground, striped meerkats stood watch in turns, while others dug for insects. Their short calls, the scratch of claws and occasional low growls formed a constant, uneasy signal that never fully faded. High along the rocky ridges, vultures aligned themselves against the wind, their gaze fixed on the region where Timu had only just secured his leadership. They did not descend, but neither did they leave. They sensed what lingered beneath the surface, a quiet instability like embers hidden beneath fine ash. Amid all these layers of life, Moru moved without disturbance. Her body flowed between roots and brush with the softness of water slipping through earth. She did not disrupt the rhythm of the land, she became part of it. In this terrain, no creature existed alone. All were bound by an invisible tension. When antelope startled, meerkats fell silent and vultures shifted their wings. It signaled that death had passed through unseen, unheard. As afternoon faded across the Ethiopian plateau, the final light of day stretched like a veil of gold. Dust-laden and serene, briefly masking the ever-present threat beneath its beauty. Slanting rays washed over low grass, twisted trunks, scattered stones, and the still fresh tracks pressed into the earth. In an open clearing, Timu's troop rested beneath the gentle glow of dusk. The young nestled close to exposed roots while several females moved cautiously outward in search of food. In the distance, the shadow of the west began to spread slowly, covering the land like a darkening tide. Moru moved low against the ground, nearly invisible within the brittle grass. The wind favored her approach. There was no need to climb or vanish into branches. For a leopard, when the land lies open, the light cuts sharply and the herd grows careless. Height becomes irrelevant. Patience, distance, and perfect timing are enough. Yet on this occasion, what seemed like the ideal opportunity concealed a danger she could not see. Timu had been waiting for this moment. He had sensed the trail, noticed the unnatural stillness in the vegetation, and for the first time his troop did not retreat. In the deepening twilight of the Ethiopian plateau, where life leaves little room for mercy or reflection, an old debt was finally answered. And Timu, once cast aside as weak and unwanted, had become something entirely different. A force that reshaped the rules of survival, defined not by rage but by the scars that had taught him how to endure. Siberia is far more than a frozen expanse of ice, or a land of endless forests ruled by tigers. When summer arrives, these cold woodlands transform into a thriving ecosystem, where life awakens after months of silence. Across the green meadows revealed by the thaw, red deer graze peacefully, feeding on fresh shoots and tender grasses. These fertile grounds restore their strength, preparing them for the challenges that lie ahead. With remarkable agility, red deer move effortlessly across difficult terrain, from steep slopes to deep stream beds. Their evolutionary history stretches back millions of years, a testament to their ability to adapt to ever-changing environments. Emerging from prehistoric times, their reddish-brown coat has become a defining trait, one that allows them to blend seamlessly into the dense forest surroundings. The impressive antlers of adult males are more than symbols of strength and dominance. They are vital weapons in battles for mating rights. Within ecosystems shared with predators like tigers, red deer play a crucial role. By feeding on grasses and foliage, they help regulate plant growth and maintain ecological balance. At the same time, they are a key link in the food chain, sustaining some of the region's most powerful hunters. Rather than living alone, red deer typically form groups of 10 to 20 individuals, often led by experienced females. Their appearance shifts with the seasons. In summer, their reddish coats merge with the dappled light of the forest, offering natural camouflage. Equipped with highly sensitive hearing, they can detect danger from afar. And when escape becomes necessary, they can reach speeds of up to 55 kilometers per hour. An essential advantage in a land where survival depends on constant vigilance. Summer in the tiger's forests unfolds as a season of color and renewal, with temperatures rising between 10 and 27 degrees Celsius. After the long winter dormancy, vegetation awakens, transforming the landscape into a dynamic and fertile environment. Siberian pines stretch across the horizon in deep green tones, while larch trees cast soft shadows over the forest floor, creating ideal cover for a silent hunter, the lynx. Its grayish coat, tinged with brown and marked by dark spots, blends seamlessly with bark and fallen leaves, as if shaped by nature itself for concealment. Emerging nearly 2 million years ago, the northern lynx has developed remarkable adaptations to survive the harsh climates of the northern hemisphere. Weighing between 18 and 30 kilograms and reaching lengths of up to 1.2 meters. It combines strength with agility. Its short tail, dense, double-layered fur, and distinctive black ear tufts are essential traits that allow it to endure extreme cold. Its hearing is so refined it functions like a biological radar capable of detecting the faint snap of a twig or the sudden flutter of a hidden bird. Within tiger-inhabited forests, the lynx leads a solitary and elusive life. This environment is not only its refuge, but also a hunting ground rich with small prey such as hares and rodents, which form the foundation of its diet. By regulating the populations of these animals, the lynx indirectly protects low vegetation from overgrazing, helping maintain ecological balance. It prefers the densest parts of the forest for hunting, where thick cover allows it to approach undetected before striking with precision. Far to the west, summer arrives across the plains of Siberia as ice and snow recede, giving way to a resurgence of life. Great rivers such as the Ob swell with meltwater, carrying nutrient-rich sediments that fertilize the lowlands. These waterways act as natural arteries, sustaining an immense ecosystem and ensuring that both the smallest plants and the largest animals have the resources they need to survive. In wetlands and grasslands, mammals like elk and deer emerge to take advantage of the abundance, restoring their strength. At the same time, predators such as gray wolves and Eurasian lynx move silently through dense vegetation, using it as cover to ambush their prey. Their movements are precise and deliberate, each step part of a stunt choreography where survival depends on timing and control. Under the soft light of summer, the Lena River becomes a vital lifeline not only for the plains, but also for brown bears. Its fast-moving waters carry salmon returning from the ocean to spawn, providing a crucial source of energy for bears recovering after months of hibernation. Salmon are more than just food. They are essential fuel. A single adult fish delivers thousands of calories, and during peak season, a brown bear may consume dozens of kilograms in a single day to build fat reserves for the coming winter. With powerful claws and finely tuned reflexes, bears wait for the perfect moment to catch fish struggling upstream. Their thick brown fur blends naturally with riverbanks and forest shadows, offering effective camouflage. Beyond fishing, bears rely on a varied diet. Tender grasses, wild berries, and roots found in wetlands supplement their nutrition. This diversity not only sustains them but also supports the ecosystem. Seeds consumed by bears are later dispersed across the land, aiding the regeneration of plant life. Beneath clear summer skies, the plains of western Siberia stretch into a vast green expanse where wetlands, dense forests, and winding rivers intertwine like veins sustaining the land. Within this tranquil setting, elk appear silent giants moving steadily through marshes and damp grasslands. Their presence reflects both the resilience of life and nature's remarkable capacity for adaptation. Elk are the result of a long evolutionary journey dating back to prehistoric times, shaped by cold climates and demanding environments. Over millions of years, they have adapted to flooded forests and expansive wetlands across the northern hemisphere. From North America to Siberia. In this region, vast woodlands and marshy terrain provide the perfect habitat for their survival. Summer is when elk display their full strength. With long, powerful legs standing over 2 meters at the shoulder, they move with ease across mud and soft ground where many animals would struggle. They favor areas near rivers, lakes, and forests rich in Siberian birch pine and larch, where tender leaves and shoots provide essential nutrients. This seasonal abundance allows them to build the energy reserves needed to endure the harsh winter ahead. An adult elk can consume around 20 kilograms of vegetation each day, acting as a natural regulator of plant growth. Their role within the Siberian ecosystem is vital. By feeding, they control vegetation density and help maintain environmental balance. Their waste enriches the soil, while the deep tracks they leave in soft ground create pathways that encourage the spread of grasses and shrubs, quietly shaping the landscape and supporting its continuous renewal. When summer settles over Lake Baikal, its Globoki waters, rich in deep blue tones, seem to stretch endlessly toward the horizon. Within this vast and striking landscape lives the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal on Earth, a remarkable example of life adapting to one of the planet's harshest natural environments. Yet today, its population, estimated between 70,000 and 100,000 individuals, has declined compared to past decades, affected by overfishing, pollution, and the growing impact of climate change. Also known as the Nerpa, this species traces its lineage back to ancient ancestors that once inhabited glacial river systems thousands of years ago. As the ice retreated, they became isolated within Lake Baikal, setting the stage for a unique evolutionary path that shaped them into specialists of freshwater survival. Measuring between 1.1 and 1.5 meters in length and weighing around 50 to 70 kilograms, these seals are well equipped for their environment. A thick layer of fat combined with dense waterproof fur protects them from the lake's cold temperatures. Their silvery gray coats shimmer under the summer light, reflecting the sky like a living mirror upon the water's surface. During the brighter months when sunlight penetrates the lake's crystal-clear depths, the Baikal seal begins its careful hunts. It can dive beyond 400 meters in search of golemianka, a nearly transparent fish found nowhere else on Earth. This species plays a vital role in the food chain and forms the osnovu of the seal's diet. An adult seal may consume between 3 and 5 kilograms of fish each day to sustain its energy. Travel long distances, reproduce, and care for its young. The Baikal seal's abilities extend far beyond deep diving. It is also highly agile underwater. Its large, light-sensitive eyes allow it to detect even the slightest movement in dark depths, while its streamlined body enables precise, effortless motion through shifting currents. Every movement reflects control and efficiency traits of a predator, perfectly adapted to its domain. Beyond its role as a hunter, the Baikal seal is essential to the ecological balance of the lake. By regulating populations of smaller fish, it helps stabilize the food web and supports the overall health of this ecosystem upon which countless other forms of life depend. And so the battles of the wild may come to an end, but the struggle itself never truly shazayed. In this untamed world, there is no mercy and no second chances. Every sunrise delivers a new trial, and every sunset leaves behind exhaustion, open wounds, and a silence that speaks louder than sound. Here, survival does not belong to the most beautiful or the strongest, but to those who endure, to those who adapt, who learn from pain and keep moving forward. In the wild, weakness finds no shelter, and even the smallest mistake can carry the ultimate cost. The victors do not celebrate, for they understand that balance can shift with the next dawn. The fallen are not forgotten because their loss sustains the fragile order of life. Everything is connected: the hunter, the prey, and the land that watches in stillness. This is not a cruel world, it is an honest one. A world where life is defended with every heartbeat, and only those who remain resilient can claim their place beneath the sun. There is no room for weakness here, only for those who endure. If this journey into the wild heart of the Serengeti has moved you, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Beast Call Nature. Join us in the next adventure as we continue to explore, appreciate, and protect the hidden wonders of the natural world. In the heart of Africa's wilderness, survival reaches its harshest form when drought devours the land. The earth cracks, water vanishes, and the air scorches under a relentless sun. This is a deadly drought, an invisible foe that spares no creature, regardless of strength, size, or experience. Even the toughest animals are forced to yield. Hunger weakens, thirst gnaws, and exhaustion turns every step into a critical choice. Here, the struggle for survival is no longer just predator versus prey. It is a battle against the very environment, pushing life to its ultimate limit. In this unforgiving world, not all will endure. Some fall so that others may carry on. In the African savannah, when drought reigns, survival is not a right. It is a hard-earned privilege. Welcome to a wild kingdom where nature reveals its cruelest face, and where even the strongest learn that some battles cannot always be won. Across vast stretches of Africa, rainfall can vanish for extended periods, sometimes lasting several years in a row. When this happens, rivers that once carved their way across the plains shrink into dry, dusty channels. Lakes gradually dwindle, breaking into small, scattered pools coveted by countless animals. Water, long the lifeblood of the savanna, suddenly becomes the scarcest and most perilous resource. Wherever it remains, species gather, and where life concentrates, tension rises, disease spreads, and death lurks. During extreme drought, temperatures often soar beyond 40 degrees Celsius. The afternoon sun does more than warm, it punishes without mercy. Evaporation accelerates, and vegetation withers before it can fully mature. Grasslands, the primary source of sustenance for large herbivores, quickly lose their nutritional value. Though it may still appear plentiful, it no longer nourishes. Animals continue to graze, yet their bodies weaken day by day. This is a form of hunger that is silent, relentless, and inevitable. Drought also reshapes the savanna's rhythms. Species that usually avoid certain areas begin to explore them. Journeys spanning tens or even hundreds of kilometers become routine in the desperate search for water. Ancient migration routes are retraced, perilous paths intersect, and the young that cannot keep pace fall behind. Every kilometer traveled exacts a heavier toll, leaving little chance for recovery. With water scarcity come hidden dangers. The few remaining pools, often contaminated, become breeding grounds for bacteria, parasites, and toxins. Even weakened. Animals drink because refusal means certain death. Many do not survive, succumbing days later to infections, extreme dehydration, or organ failure. Decline begins from within. First muscle mass fades. Then vital organs begin to fail. There is no struggle, no battle, only utter exhaustion. When drought grips the savanna, it is not always the weakest who fall first. Those who depend on abundance, stability, and balance are often the most vulnerable. Drought does not measure strength. It tests the capacity to endure collapse. Even the largest and most formidable creatures eventually begin to succumb. Lions, the undisputed symbols of strength and dominance, are among the first to feel the true impact of drought. Prolonged absence of rainfall causes herbivore populations to plummet, making hunting increasingly scarce and perilous. These apex predators rely on large, consistent prey to maintain their weight and energy. When that source vanishes, their bodies begin to deteriorate, muscle mass declines, vitality wanes, and every hunting attempt demands enormous effort. Failure no longer represents mere fatigue, it costs precious days of survival. Drought also disrupts the social fabric of prides. Lionesses, responsible for most hunts, are pushed to the limits of endurance. Cubs suffer from food shortages, and weakened dominant males lose territory to equally desperate rivals. Conflicts grow more frequent, yet even victory no longer guarantees a meal. In extreme conditions, survival instincts drive lions to unimaginable behaviors, attacks on members of their own group, abandonment of cubs unable to keep pace, and in rare cases, cannibalism. The king of the savannah does not fall to another hunter. His defeat comes silently, imposed not by an opponent, but by relentless scarcity and the unforgiving lack of resources. Elephants, the largest land animals on Earth today, face an especially harsh trial. An adult can require more than 150 liters of water each day, and during prolonged drought, this essential need becomes a sentence. Herds are forced to travel vast distances, sometimes tens, even hundreds of kilometers in search of water. The journey is slow, relentless, and devastating for the weakest members. Calves cannot endure such long days under extreme heat, and the oldest elephants, with worn-down teeth, struggle to process the dried and sparse vegetation along the way. Many collapse before reaching their destination. Others become trapped in dry riverbeds while attempting to dig makeshift wells with their tusks, in a desperate effort to reach underground water. There are accounts of entire herds surrounding fallen individuals, repeatedly touching them as if unwilling to accept the loss. Drought does not only claim the physical lives of elephants, it also destroys social bonds and structures that have taken decades to form. Zebras experience collapse swiftly and mercilessly, relying almost entirely on vast grasslands. They quickly lose their main source of sustenance. Dry, brittle grass provides little nutrition and wears down their teeth. Without sufficient energy, their bodies weaken, immune systems fail, and disease finds the perfect conditions to spread. With each rainless day, a zebra loses speed, and in the savannah, slow movement can be a death sentence. Wildebeests, famed for their massive migrations, face an even more silent tragedy. Drought disrupts the balance of ancestral routes. Rivers vanish prematurely, pastures fail to grow, and natural corridors disappear. Yet thousands press onward, driven by instinct, even when the path leads nowhere. Some die from sheer exhaustion without ever falling. Others succumb near contaminated waterholes, where stagnant pools breed lethal bacteria. During severe droughts, mortality can reach tens of thousands in a single season. The cruelest fact is that most do not fall to predators. There are no chases, no violence, only the gradual, relentless collapse of the body. The savannah becomes littered with corpses not taken by hunters, but defeated by the environment itself. Each fallen animal leaves a void, an empty space, a motionless body, a resource that shifts into new hands. For most species, drought is a relentless threat. For the crocodile, however, it becomes the perfect hunting ground. Rather than weakening it, the lack of water reshapes the environment in ways that favor its method of hunting. As water sources dwindle, herbivores are forced to return repeatedly to the same spots. Paths become well-worn, routines predictable, behavior exposed. This is where the crocodile gains its advantage, a predator that thrives on routine, carelessness, and proximity. Unlike active hunters that expend energy chasing prey, the crocodile's effort is minimal. Its metabolism is slow, efficient, and extremely economical. It can survive for months without eating, waiting for the perfect moment. While other predators grow weaker from scarcity, the crocodile remains motionless, hidden in the mud, with only eyes and nostrils visible, almost indistinguishable from the murky water surrounding it. Drought also limits escape options. In flowing rivers, prey might flee to deeper or open waters. During dry spells, those options vanish. Shores shrink, become slippery and exposed. A single misstep or moment of distraction can be fatal. When the attack comes, there is no margin for error. No. Weakened by hunger and dehydration, animals respond more slowly. They have less strength to resist and a smaller chance to escape. The crocodile's explosive lunge becomes even more lethal. Drought does not just make hunting easier, it drastically reduces a victim's ability to defend itself. Another advantage comes from carrion. Many animals die near water, whether from exhaustion or disease from drinking contaminated water. For the crocodile, this provides a steady source of food. It does not rely solely on hunting. It also feeds on the deaths accumulating around it. Carcasses, whole corpses, and dying animals become a regular part of its diet during these periods. There is also a lesser-known behavior. In extreme drought, crocodiles can dig deep mud shelters called moist burrows, which retain humidity and protect them from intense heat. These refuges allow them to survive even when the surface appears barren. As the savanna cracks and collapses, the crocodile waits, buried and unscathed. In the logic of drought, it does not run, migrate, or compete, it simply remains. And the harsher the environment, the more efficient it becomes. While lions lose weight, it gains. While herds fragment, it grows stronger. Besides crocodiles, what other animals do you think benefit from drought in Africa? Share your thoughts in the comments. However, drought does not affect all species equally. Amid the savanna's decline, some animals thrive not by abundance, but through adaptation taken to the extreme. They do not fight the harsh environment, they have evolved within it. While others lose strength and energy, these species endure quietly, efficiently, and fully prepared. The oryx may be the clearest example of this resilience. A natural inhabitant of arid and semi-arid regions, it possesses a physiology designed to survive where few other forms of life can. Its metabolism can drastically minimize water loss, allowing it to go for days or even weeks without drinking. The oryx extracts the moisture it needs from the very dry plants it consumes, even when they appear completely withered. Even more remarkable is its ability to regulate body temperature. Unlike most mammals, which must maintain around 37 degrees Celsius, the oryx tolerates its internal temperature rising during the day, conserving water by reducing sweat loss. At night, when the air cools, it gradually releases the stored heat. On a savanna teetering on the edge of collapse, the oryx does not battle the climate, it adapts to it. At ground level, among the dust and cracks scorched by the sun, another survivor keeps moving. The African warthog, unassuming, often overlooked, and remarkably resilient. Unlike the more demanding herbivores, this animal is a complete opportunist. It feeds on deep roots, hidden bulbs, insects, carrion, and almost any organic matter it can find. When surface vegetation disappears, it digs. Its body is built to endure extreme heat and prolonged periods of scarcity. Even when weakened, it remains active. while many species leave the area in search of better conditions. The warthog stays. It does not rely on a lush savanna to survive. It makes do with whatever remains when everything else has collapsed. Then there are the meerkats, small, seemingly vulnerable, yet remarkably efficient. Living in colonies with complex social structures, they face the drought through cooperation and careful planning. Their extensive underground tunnel networks serve as natural shelters from the extreme heat, significantly reducing water and energy loss. While the surface scorches under the sun, the subterranean world provides protection. Much of the water they need comes from their diet of insects, larvae, and small vertebrates, nearly eliminating dependence on freestanding water. Add to this a constant system of vigilance that minimizes unnecessary risk. No movement is random. Every foray from the burrow serves a precise purpose. In an environment where every ounce of energy matters, efficiency becomes survival. Meerkats do not thrive, they endure. They do not dominate the savanna, they learn to withstand it. As larger animals fall and the landscape grows silent, these small survivors remain active, proving that in the savanna, size and strength are not guarantees. Survival depends on who can make the most of the least. But every act of endurance leaves traces, and wherever death accumulates, there are always others ready to seize the opportunity. With long strides across cracked earth and eyes that miss nothing, The ostrich emerges as one of the great survivors of Africa's harshest regions. In a landscape where water is scarce and every mistake can be fatal, this giant of the savannah does not rely on brute strength, but on its ability to anticipate danger. In Africa, surviving drought often means reading the environment before taking action. The ostrich moves across the dry plains like a living sentry. Its greatest advantage lies in its enormous eyes, the largest of any land animal, capable of scanning the horizon for kilometers. In a world where dust obscures everything and predators blend into the terrain, this exceptional vision makes all the difference. Long before a lion detects movement or a cheetah calculates its strike, the ostrich has already identified the threat. This early awareness does more than protect the ostrich. Its alert behavior serves as an unintentional signal for other savanna animals. Antelopes, zebras, and wildebeests learn to interpret its reactions. If the ostrich stands tall and tense, it is time to move. In a drought-stricken ecosystem, this silent cooperation increases the chances of survival for the entire community. When escape becomes inevitable and heat ripples across the air, the ostrich unleashes its next defense speed. With long legs and muscles built for endurance, it can reach over 70 kilometers per hour even across hard, dry terrain. Its stride spans several meters, allowing it to flee efficiently, a critical advantage when food and water are scarce. In extreme situations, if cornered, the ostrich can fight back. Its powerful kicks can inflict serious damage, a risk few predators are willing to take. Yet for this bird, combat is always a last resort. In a hostile environment, conserving energy is as vital as avoiding danger. The ostrich's adaptation to drought goes further. Its body is built to withstand extreme temperatures. It regulates internal heat with remarkable efficiency, and its plumage, far from mere decoration, acts as a natural ventilation system, protecting it during the hottest days of the African savanna. On a continent where water is scarce and survival depends on a delicate balance of vigilance, endurance, and strategy, the ostrich proves that surviving is not always about strength. It is about understanding the landscape and disappearing before danger becomes unavoidable. When drought reaches its most extreme point, the savanna begins to make a different sound. It is not the roar of a predator, nor the call of a herd. It is the heavy beat of wings. Vultures do not announce themselves, they simply appear. First one descends in the distance, and then another. Within minutes, dozens more follow. Soon the sky fills with dark silhouettes, circling silently in wide spirals over a single point on the ground. Where there is death, they know. Drought creates the perfect stage for this phenomenon. Carcasses accumulate. Exhausted animals die near waterholes, along worn trails, or beneath isolated shade, with no strength left to move. No dense vegetation hides the bodies. No deep mud conceals them. The dry savanna exposes everything. Death becomes visible from kilometers away. Vultures are experts at spotting it. Some species do not need a direct view, they follow the behavior of others in the air to locate the end. It takes only one individual to descend for dozens more to follow. In minutes, the ground becomes a scene of chaos. Lean bodies, wings spread in threat, bare necks plunging repeatedly into flesh. Silence is shattered by the crack of bones, harsh caws, and the constant sound of tearing. There is no ritual, no pause. Drought allows no time. Heat accelerates decomposition. Insects arrive immediately, and other predators may appear at any moment. Vultures act with brutal efficiency. They consume quickly, leaving little behind. An animal weakened over months can vanish in mere hours, reduced to bleached bones and dried hide. It is a chilling image. Circling groups of vultures form a living ring around death. They jostle, climb over one another, spread their wings to intimidate. Some walk directly on the carcass as they feed, while others wait at the edges, knowing their turn will come. It is chaos made functional, driven by hunger and opportunity. Drought multiplies these scenes. The more animals fall, the more frequent this inevitable encounter becomes. The sky of the dry savanna fills with dark shadows gliding silently, ever watchful of the ground below. From a distance, vultures may not seem like an immediate threat, yet to the savanna, they are a clear warning. Something has died here, and often, these birds arrive even before life has fully ceased. Animals weakened beyond movement become the focus. Death does not always come with violence. Sometimes it comes with patient waiting. The presence of vultures is a quiet announcement of the inevitable. Drought is not a one-time event in the African savanna. It is a recurring mechanism, shaping populations, redefining territories, and deciding who survives and who vanishes. Nothing that happens is wasted. Nothing occurs at random. Fallen bodies become nourishment for others. Water that recedes concentrates the life that still endures. The suffering of some species supports the survival of others. Drought leaves a lesson impossible to ignore. Strength does not guarantee continuity. Size does not promise a tomorrow. Dominance does not equal survival. In the African savannah, living means knowing when to move, when to endure, and when to accept the end. On a continent where deadly drought spreads like a silent shadow, survival ceases to be a struggle between species and becomes a battle against time, hunger, and thirst. Cracked earth and dry rivers not only reshape the landscape, they redefine the fate of every creature that calls it home. Under these extreme conditions, even the hardiest reach their limits. Drought respects no hierarchy, no strength. It weakens all alike. Some keep moving, driven by instinct. Others are forced to stop, leaving behind stories of endurance rarely seen, yet essential to maintaining the balance of nature. Every fall is not a failure, it is part of an ancient cycle in which life pushes forward at a devastating cost. These silent battles remind us of a profound truth. Wildlife is not cruel, it is honest. Nature does not punish, it simply responds to the limits of the planet. Today, those limits are being tested more than ever. Protecting Africa's ecosystems, conserving water, and respecting wildlife is not only an environmental cause, it is a human responsibility. Because when drought strikes, it is not only animals who lose, we all do. In Africa, where even the strongest can fall, life remains sacred precisely because it is fragile.